The struggle begins. Moderate phase and early Indian National Congress. Why Indian nationalism grew at this time? It was due to the creation of new institutions, resources, and opportunities created by Raj, that is British. And we also call it government because pre-independence time, if we are referring to government in the times of pre-independence, then we are referring to British government. Government which was in India, that was colonial government, British government. Moderate phase. Who are moderates? There are one term moderate. Moderate refers to the persons who believe doing something in the framework of constitution, not breaking any laws, petitioning the government that please do this, requesting the government that please do this. So within the constitutional framework, through the petitions, prayers, if we are doing something, then that person is moderate. In history, the terminology moderate refers to these kind of persons. So why Indian nationalism grew at this time? Because of the new institutions, resources and opportunities created by the British. How? New institutions, institution of education, institution of law, medicine, etc., new resources which have been created, new opportunities, new trade. So this is the main reason, and this was mainly because of the Indian nationalism grew. One factor is reaction against it, that is colonial policies. Colonial government is following some policies, and against that there is some reaction. So therefore Indian nationalism grew, and through colonial policies, that is generated by colonial policies also. Other factors: French Revolution, French Revolution gave the ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity, and it also told that totalistic regime king can be removed. Indian Renaissance, British colonial policies, modernization by British, and concept of nationalism. Factors for growth of modern nationalism. colonial interest. It was realized that colonial interest, that is British interest, was prevalent, and it was the cause of India's economic backwardness. Administrative, political, economic unification of country. Hitherto, till then, there was cultural unity. India was similar in culture, but with the administrative and political unity and with the use of different modes of communication, transport, economic fate of different regions were linked. Crop is failing in one part of the country, it is affecting the other part of the country. So there was rise of nationalism, that we are same nation. With the help of growth of transportation, different leaders of different regions can meet. So therefore nationalism grew. Western education and thought. Assimilation of Western ideas. Radical thoughts of Voltaire, John Stuart Mill, Paine, Spencer, Rousseau, Milton, Shelley. Plus English education. Through the help of English education, different leaders of the different regions in India can communicate with each other through English. English education, it united the different leaders of the country. They can communicate, and for higher education, visit to England. Therefore, when people visited England for higher education, they saw the working of political institutions in free democracy. Next factor is press and literature. They urged people to unite. Spread the ideas of different leaders. Criticized government policies. Next factor is rediscovery of India's past. Researches by European scholars such as William Monier, Max Muller, and Indian scholars such as R.G. Bhandarkar, Swami Vivekananda. Through the researches of these scholars, it was discovered that India in the past had well developed political, economic institutions. India was well flourished with arts. There was a flourishing trade also. And the theory of Indo-Aryan gave a moral boost that all European nations developed through Aryans, which is also the case in India. So therefore there was a moral boost. Progressive socio-religious movements, rise of middle class intelligentsia, middle class intelligentsia means the people who have got the education of the middle class, so they have rose. These people provide the leadership to Indian National Congress. Worldwide movements, example, loss of Spanish and Portuguese Empire, freedom movement, in Italy, Greece, Ireland, reactionary policies, and racial arrogance. This is exemplified in the form of reduction in age, Indian Civil Service exam, Grand Darbar of 1877 at the time of famine, Vernacular, Press Act, Arms Act, Ilbert Bill controversy. In the coming chapters, we will discuss all these. So these were the reactionary policies and racial arrogance. So this was the factor for the rise of modern nationalism. Political associations before the formation of INC. So this is divided into two phases. First phase, early half of 19th century, it was dominated by wealthy people and aristocrats. Their demand was administrative reforms, association of Indians in administration, and spread of education. So these were the demands of the organizations in early half of 19th century. And the next half of 19th century, they were dominated by nationalists. They had wide agenda. And larger perspective. And these nationalists were middle class intelligentsia. Political associations in Bengal. बंगा भाषा प्रकाशिका. Established in 1836 by associates of Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Zamindari Association. Which was also called as Landholders Society. Its aim was to safeguard the interest of landholders, zamindars. This Zamindari Association Landholder Society, with the establishment of this society, it was the beginning of organized political activity in India. Bengal British India Society. It was established in 1843. Its aim was to collect the actual information of British India. British India, I will write at BI. Then later on, these two merged by the name of British Indian Association. It was established in 1851. This British Indian Association gave some recommendations, and these some recommendations were incorporated in Charter Act 1853. East Indian Association. Established in 1866 by Dada Bhai Naroji. In London. Aim was to discuss Indian question. And influence men in England. Next is Indian League. Established in 1875 by Sisir Kumar Ghosh. To stimulate political activity among Indians. Indian Association of Calcutta. In 1876. This association superseded Indian League. This was established by Surendranath Banerjee. And Anand Mohan Bose. This organization kept its fee very low to attract poorer section. Now, political associations in Bombay. Pune Sarvajanik Sabha in 1867 by M.G. Ranade. This was established to bridge the gap between the government and people. Bombay Presidency Association. By Firoz Shah Mehta. Badruddin Tayyab ji. K.T. Telang. It was established in 1885. Political associations in Madras. Madras Mahajan Sabha. By Subramaniam Iyer. P. Ananda Charlu. M. Veera Raghavachari. Raghavachari. In 1884. There were some pre-Congress campaigns, that is campaigns before the formation of Congress. Against import duty reduction of cotton, Vernacular Press Act 1878, Arms Act 1878, support of Ilbert Bill. Ilbert Bill, this bill sought to remove the discrimination between the Europeans and Indians in judiciary. Civil service agitation against the reduction of maximum age to appear in Indian civil service exam and Indianization of government services. These and Lytton's Afghan adventure. These were some pre-Congress campaigns. Indian National Congress, its aims and objectives. A. O. Hume, mobilized intellectuals, and the first session of the Congress was conducted in December 1885. And the first session of the Congress addressed by the first women graduate was Kadambini Ganguly in 1890. But as a prelude to the session of Indian National Congress, there were two sessions of Indian National Conference. In 1883 and 1885. After that, the session of Indian National Congress was there, and this Indian National Conference was established by Surendranath Banerjee and Anand Mohan Bose. And what are the aims and objectives of Indian National Congress? To develop political consciousness among Indians, so that there can be political organized activity in India. There should be a forum where people should put forward their grievance to the government, formalized forum, to put pressure on the government so that government can do the betterment of Indians, and to generate the feeling of nationalism. So broadly, these are the aims and objectives of Indian National Congress. There is a theory called as safety valve theory. Regarding the formation of Congress, according to this theory, that A.O. Hume formed the Indian National Congress and convinced the Dufferin so that Dufferin should lead the formation of Congress. Why? So that energy of discontented Indians should be released. People who are discontented should release their energy in a forum, so they should not spread it everywhere. This was the safety valve theory. But in contrast to this, nationalists claim that, historians also claim that, nationalist people, leaders used A.O. Hume as a lightning conductor in guise of safety valve. That these people instead used the A.O. Hume in the guise of safety valve. Moderates and their working. These people believed in liberalism. Through the petition to government, prayers, they tried to put forward the grievance of the Indians within the constitutional framework. According to the moderates, that Britishers are not aware of the real Indian conditions. Britishers are not aware of real conditions of Indians. So therefore, through petitions, prayers and resolutions and meetings, make Britishers aware of the conditions. So there was two objectives. First, create public opinion. And send petitions to British, that is government, to implement reforms. Contribution of moderates. Economic drain theory. by दादा भाई नारोजी. R.C. Dutt, Dinshaw Bachcha. According to this theory, Britishers imported raw materials and dumped their finished products into India. So there was economic drain. This was the major contribution of moderates. Second, constitutional reforms. So there are two aspects. Increase Indians in councils and reform councils. So this was the demand from 1885 till 1891, and they were rewarded with 1892 Councils Act. Third, administrative reform. Increase Indians in the administration. Because British servants have high emoluments, high salaries and pensions, so overall they are taking money from India to their home, England. So there is drain of wealth, money. Money is transported from India to England. So therefore, if they increase the Indians, money would be there in India. Separate executive and judiciary. There should be no judicial powers to the executive. Separate executive and judiciary. Third, increase expenditure on Indians for welfare. Fourth, better treatment of Indians abroad. Better treatment for Indian labor abroad. So these are the overall contributions of moderates.